Have you ever wondered why sometimes life feels like it is slowly pulling you away from everyone and everything? One day you're surrounded by friends, laughter, and noise, and the next day it feels as if the entire world has gone quiet. You find yourself alone, sitting in your room, scrolling through your phone, realizing no one really calls anymore, no one checks in like they used to, and the conversations that once excited you now feel empty. Have you ever thought to yourself, why is this happening to me? Why does it feel like the universe itself has placed me in isolation? I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself this. Could it be that you're not being punished, but prepared? Could it be that what feels like loneliness is actually an invitation, a sacred moment that is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self? Because sometimes when the world goes silent around you, it is not rejection, it is redirection. And today, I want to take you through the hidden reasons why the universe isolates you and the powerful lessons buried in this solitude. Think about the times you have felt truly alone. Maybe it was after a heartbreak, when the person you loved walked away without explanation. Maybe it was when friends you trusted slowly drifted out of your life. Or maybe it was when you were surrounded by people but still felt like no one could really understand you. Those moments can break you, but they can also make you. They can push you to places within yourself that you would have never explored if life had remained comfortable and loud. The first reason the universe isolates you is so that you can learn to love your own company. This sounds simple, but it is one of the hardest lessons. Most of us spend our lives trying to escape ourselves. We run into relationships, friendships, parties, jobs, and distractions just to avoid being alone with our own thoughts. But solitude forces us to stop running. Imagine sitting in your room, no music, no phone, no one to call, just you. At first it feels uncomfortable, almost unbearable. Your mind races. You feel restless. But slowly you begin to notice something. You start to hear your own inner voice again, the voice that got drowned out by the noise of the world. You start asking questions. Who am I when no one is watching? What do I truly want from life? What are my fears? What are my deepest dreams? And for the first time, you begin to answer honestly. This is not something your friends can tell you, not something social media can define for you. This is your sacred meeting with yourself. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man who was always surrounded by friends. Every night he was out, every day his phone was buzzing. But when life got hard and he fell into depression, those friends disappeared one by one. At first, he felt abandoned, like the universe had betrayed him. But in that silence, something powerful happened. He started writing. At first, just scribbles in a notebook. Then pages. Then entire books. His solitude birthed a purpose that would have never come to life if he had been distracted by constant noise. What looked like loneliness was actually his calling. Maybe, just maybe, your solitude is also hiding a gift waiting to be discovered. The second reason the universe isolates you is to help you discover your true identity. When you're always surrounded by people, it is easy to lose yourself. You start adopting their beliefs, their habits, even their dreams. Without realizing, you become a copy of everyone else, living according to what others expect from you. But when you are alone, it is like standing in front of a blank canvas. The universe hands you the brush and says, paint your own picture. This is your chance to ask yourself, do I really believe the things I was taught? Do I really want the life that others told me to chase? Or have I been living a script that was never mine in the first place? Think about it. How many people go to college, choose a career, or even get married because it is what society told them was the right thing to do, not because it is what their soul truly wanted? Solitude is your reset button. It strips away the borrowed layers and asks you to stand in your own truth. It is uncomfortable, yes. It feels like being naked in front of yourself, but it is also liberating. It is like detoxing your soul, peeling away years of expectations until what remains is your pure, authentic self. I remember reading about a woman who grew up in a family that expected her to become a lawyer. She followed the path, got the degree, even practiced law for a few years. But deep inside, she felt hollow. When she finally went through a period of isolation after a painful divorce, she had time to listen to herself. And in that silence, she admitted what she had always known. She didn't want to be a lawyer. She wanted to be a teacher. Today, she is living her truth, and she says her solitude was the greatest gift the universe ever gave her. The third reason the universe isolates you is to teach you strength and independence. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. When you are alone, there is no one to lean on, no safety net. You have to make your own decisions, solve your own problems, and take care of yourself. At first, it feels terrifying, but then something shifts. You realize you're capable of more than you ever imagined. That independence becomes a source of unshakable confidence. Suddenly, you are no longer afraid of being abandoned, because you know you can stand on your own. You're no longer desperate for love, because you know you can nurture yourself. You're no longer afraid of failure, because you know you have the strength to get back up. Let me give you an example. Think of a bird in a cage. As long as it is fed and cared for, it feels safe. But the moment it is set free, it has to learn how to fly. At first it struggles, flapping its wings, unsure of its strength. But soon, it discovers the freedom of the open sky. That is what solitude does to you. It feels scary at first, but it is training you to fly. And once you learn to soar, you will never want to go back to the cage of dependence. The fourth reason the universe isolates you is to prepare you for deeper connections. When you have always been surrounded by people, you take relationships for granted. You confuse quantity with quality. But when you have been through true solitude, you begin to crave something different. You're no longer satisfied with shallow conversations or surface-level friendships. You want real connection. You want relationships that feed your soul, not just fill your time. And when you finally meet someone who resonates with your spirit after being alone, you cherish them in a way you never could have before. Solitude teaches you boundaries. It gives you the courage to say no to relationships that drain you, and the wisdom to say yes to those that nurture you. It teaches you self-respect, and that self-respect becomes the foundation of every bond you form. And here is the beautiful part. When you truly love yourself, you attract people who love you in the same way. You stop chasing those who don't see your value, because you know your worth. But the universe doesn't stop there. Isolation is also a divine invitation. In your solitude, when there are no distractions, you are given the chance to connect with the spiritual realm in ways you never could before. Whether you call it God, the universe, or a higher power, this is your moment to draw closer. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how, in your darkest moments, you are drawn to prayer, to meditation, to stillness? That is not an accident. That is your soul recognizing its native language. In that quiet, you begin to notice signs. A song that plays at just the right moment. A dream that feels like a message. A gut feeling that guides you. These are not coincidences. They are whispers of the divine, nudging you toward your purpose. And finally, perhaps the most profound reason the universe isolates you is to heal your wounds. We all carry pain, heartbreaks, betrayals, traumas passed down through generations. These wounds do not go away on their own. They hide beneath the surface, shaping your choices, your relationships, even the way you see yourself. And the universe knows this. That is why it pulls you into solitude. Because only in that sacred silence can you finally face your pain and begin to heal. Maybe you are the one chosen to break the cycle in your family, to stop the patterns of abuse, fear, or silence that have been carried for generations. Maybe your solitude is not just about you, but about everyone who will come after you. You are the chain breaker, the one strong enough to say, the pain stops here. That is why the universe pulled you away. That is why you are alone right now. Because you're being asked to do the work that will free not only yourself, but countless others. So the next time you feel lonely, abandoned, or forgotten, remember this. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. You're not being rejected. You're being redirected. And you're not alone. You are in the loving embrace of a universe that knows your worth, that sees your strength, and that is guiding you toward the life you were always meant to live. If this message speaks to you, hold it close. Because one day, you will look back on this season of solitude and realize it was the most beautiful gift you ever received. If this message has touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who may need these words today. Like this video, so more souls can discover it. And subscribe to the channel so we can continue walking this journey of awakening together. Every click, every share, and every subscription helps spread this light to others who are searching in the dark. You are part of something greater now, and your presence here means more than you know.